So I wanted to show the items that I'm taking for the 12 days. I'm going to go through it relatively quickly, but feel free to ask questions. Stop me, say, time out. And I also wanted to show the difference between working a January winter expedition and working late February, March, and some of the small adaptations that I will make. I'm going to do this pretty randomly, and as I said, pretty quickly. I'm going to start out with my bottom layer first, and these are the pants that I'm wearing. It's basically, it'd be like expedition weight long underwear. Sport Hill, it's great. And for this course, I'm wearing long underwear underneath. So these two is for what I'm wearing for this. If it was late February, March, I take these away and I'm just wearing this. On top of that, then I wear these super old Arc'teryx wind pants, ski pants. Full length zip so I can ventilate, made of Gore-Tex. Not too worried about getting wet out there, except when I'm digging out the Quincy. And I will be wearing that. On top of that, then all three of those, I have these puffy pants, again, side zips that I will wear over. So that's my bottom there.
How do you change that for hiking versus in camp? I'm assuming you wear everything while we're in camp and we're cold, and then get the puffy pants when we hike.
Yeah, and I just play with it. If it's 20, 30 below, I'll wear all of that when I'm skiing even.
Cool.
And just play with the zippers. I'm constantly ventilating with the zippers. These are my socks. I take 2 pairs of socks for the 12 days, and I switch them around for one's the travel, one's the sleep, and then one will be the sleep and one be the travel. But I'm just keeping them dry. It's a pretty kind of a clean environment, so I'm not too worried about salt rash, canyon dust, etc. It's snow, so that's for me. I'm not saying this will work for you. Also, without giving too much information, but I will, I'm wearing that long underwear you saw. That's 12 days. And if for some reason I should soil myself, is that it? I got some boxer shorts to wear while I clean out the soiled, and then putting the long underwear back on. Now I'm going to go to the feet a little bit more. I showed you the socks. I only wear 1 pair of ski socks with my ski boots. My liners, if you do this for a long time, maybe you already have them. They're called Intuition liners. Yes, I'm selling Intuition liners now. I recommend buying Intuition liners because they do not soak up sweat. They do not get wet. It's like a miracle happened. And I've been using Intuition liners for over 10 years, and it's made a huge difference. Where I used to have to sleep with I would say your liners of your ski boots, if they're not Intuition liners, should be one of 3 places. They're either on your feet, in your sleeping bag, or in your parka. They're always warm and drying constantly. But since I have Intuition liners now, I don't have to do that anymore. But does that make sense? Mm-hmm. The 3 places, on feet, armpits, or in your sleeping bag. So this is my booty system. When I get to camp, oh, by the way, I don't know why, I don't sweat. So this is really a cool thing. I don't sweat out my clothing. But if I did, when I would get to camp, the first thing I would do would sit down on my pack, change my socks, and then put the booty system on so my feet are not getting wet and cold. So I'd put on the dry socks, I put on these booty liner pile socks, I put on these outer booties, and then on top of all of that, I put these on. These are really good. They're also really old, but they've lasted a long time. These will also fit over my ski boots. So you're gonna get a lot of little tips around this, but I can go into camp and put these right over my ski boots and boom, my feet are really warm. Or I can just do what I just described of putting on dry socks, taking the liner boot out of my ski boot, putting that on my foot, putting it in here and start walking around, and it will dry out. And if it's really cold, I can put the inner boot stuff this over it. It's hard, but it works. And then put it in here. Being creative, and there's a lot of different ways of doing it. And I'm sure Chad has different ways and different thoughts too, of also achieving the same thing. And that is dryness and warmth, and keeping it warm. So that's feet, that's my lower body. And this is gonna sound wild, this is my hand system. Oh yeah, you gotta have a long buff. Everybody have a long buff like this? It's the best. So you gotta have that. For cooking, for some reason, when you're in the kitchen, you have all your layers on and you're cooking, it feels kind of warm. It can be kind of cold out, but you feel warm. These are for cooking and doing some other things, but that's kind of like my cooking setup. Another thing that I do when I'm traveling, you got the sled, you got the pack, I will have these mitts in here like this. I'll have this in here like this. And now I'm traveling along, my hands are getting cold because I have light gloves on or I have gloves on. I have this hat on while I'm getting cold. Now I stop, I don't have to take anything off. You have all this stuff on. So I'm just pulling out and switching these on. Now I can put the mittens on. I can put the warm hat on and keep going. It doesn't always work, your systems, but it works for me. If it's really cold, and again, late February, March, I may not take these, but these are like your Himalayan type mitts that you're not going to get cold in. And I can actually put the wool gloves in here too, and I can still wiggle everything, which is highly important. But I'm going to take them because it's January. And then I have these. Well, this is my knee brace. Yep, there's two of them. These are actually waterproof gloves, but we have waterproof gloves here that plumbers use, construction people. I don't like them because you look like a construction person, and I don't want to look like a skier, so I have these cool gloves. They are waterproof, and this is what I mow in. So I have the bottom part that's Gore-Tex. I have the gloves.
What's molding?
Molding, right?
Oh, sure.
Inside the Quincy. Because that's when you're going to get soaked. And when I come out, I don't wear all my layers molding because it's hot and sweaty work and it's wet. But I wear my Gore-Tex pants. I have these gloves. And then I wear my Gore-Tex Arc'teryx. Do you notice a lot of my gear is Arc'teryx? It's really cool. But anyway, then I wear my Gore-Tex jacket for molding. And when I come out, then I put on the big parka and all of that. Any questions about those layers? Oh, look, I've got another. Oh, that's the same one. Now I'm going to go to the upper body. Any questions so far? We're good?
I was asking you, do you pack one high ski sock and one warm sock, or two high ski socks?
No, they're both the same.
Are they ski socks or what are they?
They're ski socks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But you might, because of being new to this, you might want to take 3 pairs. A dedicated sleeping bag sock.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be my recommendation. So I'm giving you a recommendation not to follow me. This is my base layer. Knowles has gotten these. They're at the RM. They're really cool. What is this? This is Ibex. I highly recommend them. It has the hood too. And I'll probably have this on the whole time. Unless for some reason when I soiled myself, it went everywhere. Then I would have to change this too. That would be a problem. I would have to call a nurse. So this is a vest I have on. That will be over that. This is my wind shirt, Houdini, Patagonia. That will be over this. And then I have this jacket that I'll be wearing. Okay, I'm taking 3 puffies because it's January. If it's the end of February, the beginning of March, I won't take all 3 of these. But I'm taking this puffy, and these are lightweight puffies. And I'll sleep probably most of the nights in one of these because I'm taking a 0-degree bag. And I'm not too worried about being warm, or too warm or cold. So I'm taking that. And then I take this monster one that has the big pockets in it that I was talking about, that you put your inner boots in. If you don't have intuition liners, then you want to put them in. Anyway, this is a big North Face jacket. And I have bivvied in this, and I'm being serious, bivvied in this at 18 below zero on a mountain rescue mission, and I slept. And it was 18 below, and I didn't have a sleeping bag or anything, and I was fine. Yeah, it's a great jacket. Then before I had that one, I had another one. Long, I love long jackets that come down. That's an important garment, and it's, if I'm going to a movie or Starbucks, I wear medium. All of my outdoor clothing is extra large or large. That's a huge factor.
Is yours down or synthetic?
Oh, it's down. Everything I have is down because I don't sweat.
You don't sweat.
Yeah.
Okay. Lucky
This
you.
is a Western Mountain, is it Western Mountaineering sleeping bag? And we were just talking about it. If you have the dough, this is what you want to buy. You know, it's super warm, lightweight, and you probably already know you want a full-length ridge rest type thing and slight pad, and then your one on top of it. And we were talking, and you're thinking of taking 2 Insulite, and then
2 foams and a blow up.
you probably have heard that there's a lot of information going out about R factors. This is a big Agnes. I think the R factor's not that high. It's like 6 or something. And you can get them all the way up to R factor of 8. And I just recommend getting the warmest you can and taking care of it. We were also chatting about, this is really important. I highly, highly recommend. I've had 2 airbags deflate in a winter environment because I got a hole in them because I actually blew up air in them. My hot breath after time created ice crystals in it and popped the airbag. So you don't want to blow into your bags in the winter. My recommendation, you can try and see what happens. Maybe it won't, but use something like this to blow up your airbag. And then you want a ground cloth here. Even with this system, when we camp in a Quincy for 3 or 4 nights, you will see a depression where my body warmth has melted out the snow. Okay, all this other stuff, we'll go into it and talk about it later. I highly recommend this. The author of this book is here, staying here tonight. And I don't know if you've read it, but this goes in the field, and it is one of the best, it is the best book on avalanche rescue and giving information for that. Alexis wrote it. I'm not gonna go through all of this. I've stopped in the winter, this is just me. Some of you, have you seen these little things that you put food in and you eat out of it? It's a bowl. I've stopped using that. I use this because I don't want to, if I don't eat all of my breakfast, I don't want to eat it at noon. If I didn't eat it at breakfast, why would I want to eat it at noon? So I don't carry that. I just have this and I eat it and I go on. Anyway, that's my recommendation. I think that's about it. Oh, my thermos. I am so excited about this thermos. And I have a 1.5 liters for traveling. And this is my 1/2 liter in here, koozie. And if you don't have this, you can make them with duct tape and stuff. but I have this koozie. And then you also have a full liter, this, and I have not found a better thermos than this one. Jeremy Cronin convinced me to get this, and boy, I'm so happy. But anyway, you need a thermos, in my recommendation. But I also have seen students go out with 2 1-liter bottles in koozies and not take a thermos, and they seem pretty happy. Avalanche beacon and probe. I'll have the pack. It's a smaller pack. Generally speaking, because we have a sled, you only need like a 40 liter pack on your back, and then the rest goes in a sled, and we'll go all through that tomorrow on the sled packing. Okay, that's not bad. That only took about 18 minutes. And it sounds like we don't have a lot of questions. I do have this, and this. I had prostate surgery, and this is a catheter. And Chad and I were talking about it. I hope I don't have to use it. Chad said he would assist me with this, only keeping an eye on me. That's the assistant. So I just wanted to show that's another health issue. I'm glad I got that out there. Okay.
Do you bring a pee bottle, Ron?
No, I cannot urinate laying down. I have to stand up because of my health issues. I can't sit down either. I have to stand up. And I am taking a couple of, for our video presentations, I'm taking some more battery life. Okay. Oh, and this is a scope for looking at avalanche terrain. And then you can put this on it to look at snow crystals. And that's it. I'll stop here. Oh, no, I won't stop. Because I do want, I think this is important. I'm going to be talking more about this in the field, and then I'll stop, Chair. And this is one of the reasons that we also wanted to give you all time if you wanted to go into town to purchase, to go to the grocery store, etc. Most of the time, I will be using snow to wipe with, and we'll talk more about that, and digging a hole in an appropriate location, not above a water source, a drainage, etc., for defecating. I also go from time to time, and I have, this will not go in my food bag, our food bag, but this is my trash that I triple bag and put back into my bag, that I'll take a couple of wet wipes to clean up occasionally. And also I can use that if I soil myself in my clothing, and I'll use hot water and soap for doing that. I think it's important too, now I'm being serious, that when you have students that if they're on a semester, they've been taught how we use the bidet method. 15 years ago, those instructors for the most part weren't using the bidet method. And that's been only in the last 15 or so years. And it's sometimes, to me, I think about it and it's like, wow, we have students that come from cities and they've used toilet paper for 16 years, 18 years of their life. And now we're showing this method. It's like, that's kind of rough. Fortunately, most of our students understand it, and we can give them good examples of why to do it that way. I think that's important. The winter environment, you have all these clothing and stuff. I guess what I'm encouraging, have empathy for your students. Show them other ways. Talk to them if they need a ditty bag of some sort like this, that they can take care of themselves and feel comfortable out there. Because I think there's a lot more angst, and maybe it's just my angst, but I think there's a lot more angst out there in the student world around going to the bathroom and all of that than we kind of realize. And so that's my little soapbox on showing compassion and empathy and respect to our students. So thank you for hearing that. Okay, Chad, now I'm done.